Hey guys, so this is going to be my Draw My Life video. Yay, because I'm original. Go to hell, okay? Anyway, I think to begin, I live in England, which is part of Great Britain, on, more importantly, a tiny little island called the Isle of Wight. Yeah, when you live on the Isle of Wight, it's kind of makes it more important than living in Great Britain. It's kind of its own little country where you feel like you're in a prison and the whole of Great Britain doesn't really matter. It's like Gandalf is stood by the ferry telling you that you can't come across because it's way too expensive. But anyway. So I guess this story starts with my mum and my dad, and to be really, really depressing, pretty much the first bit of actual drama that I can really remember in my life is when they split up, which kind of sucked, and it meant that me and my brother lived apart, and I lived with my dad, he lived with my mum, so it really had a new dynamic. But I guess when you kind of think about it and you look around, you see that you have a dad that's in a happy relationship and a mum that's in a happy relationship, and yeah, when you realise that they're both giving different Christmases, you kind of realise that it's not so bad. So yeah, I guess there's positives in that, and it also strengthened my relationship with both of them massively. So my dad was in the Navy through most of my childhood when I was growing up, which meant he couldn't really be around for a lot of stuff, especially when he was getting called out and being shipped out. But instead I had my grandpa, who would literally just support me in everything. He'd go absolutely crazy even when I'd be at football practices, and I was absolutely awful at football, but he would just be there cheering me on. But I guess just like the beginning of this story, it's pretty morbid, and he passed away like a few years ago, which was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with in my life so far. But the thing about him was, throughout all of his life, he was just trying to make people smile and be really spread happiness, which is probably the most important thing I've ever learned. I know that even in his will he said that for his funeral we had to not cry, we had to just be strong and be happy and celebrate his life, and we all had to wear bright coloured shirts, so like we were stood there in our brightest shirt. But I think it was when like the song came on and we saw the coffin and all of that, I kind of cried a lot. But I mean, looking back at it now, I can just think of him whenever I want to think of him, and he's really a bit of a hero, and I really want to grow up like him. I think it was at this point, I was kind of in middle school, and it's a very chilled out point, even though you don't realise it. Like, you don't have that much stress going on. So I had an absolutely amazing group of friends. I think it was the closest group of friends I've ever had. And they were all there to support me and just meet up and really help out. We used to go down the beach, which you just cannot tell, but I'm trying to draw that now. There's a wall there. Look, there's a wall. And this is a beach. We used to just sit on the beach, we'd just play games or talk and hang out, and it was probably one of my favourite times. Like, having a beach just about 2 minutes away meant that we'd all just meet up and just walk straight down the beach and spend every day there. The friendship I had there was probably one of the most important things that I had. I mean, me and my friend Alex made a channel called Anonymous Ukulele Boys and wrote a song for a YouTuber, Mika Kitty, who then commented on it and shared it with her following, and it got a huge response. And that was definitely the first real experience I had with YouTube, and made me absolutely fall in love with it. I used to always watch lots and lots of different channels, and it was a huge passion of mine even then, so it kind of has just grown into more and more, and a real great way of just sharing content, I guess. But unfortunately, because of my family being unhappy with where we were living, we had to move, which was really, it kind of just sparked a huge downfall in my life. All of my friends kind of said goodbye, and I wasn't then just 5 minutes away from all of them. I was like a whole train journey, and we had to really plan to meet up, and because of that we just naturally fell apart slowly, which is really depressing. But anyway, I went to high school, and I guess that's the next stage of my life, and it was a really important stage because I was questioning what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. And I met a load of really important people in my life at high school. one of which was Amber, who I did a video with earlier. Here is a terrible, terrible drawing of her. I just don't know how to make stick ladies. It all goes downhill on the hair. But yeah, I mean, we used to meet up and we'd play songs and go on Blog TV. And it was all of these like little things that really started my musical journey that led to where I am now. The other group of people I met at high school was the band that I'm currently in and have been in for the last 4 years. We started off as a GCSE music group, and we had to perform different covers, and we literally would spend our whole music lesson just pretending to be a band basically and playing all of these different covers. So I had some real great people there. There was Kurt, and which is there's Kurt apparently. Yeah, that didn't go well. And the bassist Ainsley, who ended up becoming one of my closest friends. And then later, from middle school, one of my friends, George, joined in the band, and that was then when we were like, hey, this is kind of cool, we've got some cool songs, so yeah, let's do this, and we called ourselves This Way Up. I had some amazing experiences with This Way Up, and still have some amazing experiences with This Way Up, but I think as a musician, the best experience I ever had was playing Festival last year. It was pretty much the closest thing I've ever felt to a real big-time musician, standing in front of loads and loads of people. And here's probably I just drew out one of my favourite memories, and I got way carried away with this. But the best memory I have is playing Festival. It was just one night I had 2 performances with 2 bands I was in. And there is the one person that I knew, his name's Chris. But yeah, there was one person that I knew in the crowd, and also, something else happened that made me feel like a rock and roll star, which is I made a very good artistic... Yep, there. A lady flashed her boobs at me. Yep, that was the most rock and roll I've ever been because of that moment. So yeah, thank you, random Festival slut. What? Okay, anyway. To get back into chronological order, just before Festival, I ended up moving out of my house. And that was, I was, I think, 17 there, and it's one of the most hardest things I've ever had to go through, really. Luckily, after a week of stress and panic, I got a phone call from my best friend Ainsley, and he just told me to go to his house and sort everything out there. And that started one of the strangest, best years of my life. Because his family just said, you're staying with us so you can complete your course, and I met 4 of the most welcoming, amazing people, and they've definitely became one of the most important parts of my life, and I'll never ever be able to forgive them? No, I'll never be able to thank them enough for what they did. So it was still a really difficult part of my life where I was spending a year living with my best friend's family. And I had all of them around me to really help me through it, and I had a girlfriend and we were together for 2 years, and she helped me through massively, but I guess where I was moving away we kind of drifted apart and we ended up breaking up. But I guess it was just another case of questioning what I was doing. I was at music college at the time and ended up finishing the course early because I was really down. I guess after everything that had happened in the last few years, I was just feeling really upset. So I packed my bags again and moved to Fareham, which is where I am now. So if I'm honest, it was more a case of just moving closer to my mummy, as you can see there, because I'm a mummy's boy. And when you've gone through a load of really dark times and feeling really down, that's all you need, really. So yeah, I guess that's where I am now. Is I'm living in Fareham. I'm doing a lot of different musical stuff at the moment, and I'm living with my stepdad and my mum. Yeah, and I'm in the middle of writing a lot of music to make my solo album, which I'm really excited about. I guess the other thing that I'm really working on is YouTube, and it's been one of those things that's just helped me so much through all of this thing, all of the stuff that's gone on in the last few years. So hopefully I can make another one of these in a year or just later down the line of my story. and hopefully I can involve YouTube in it a lot more, and I'll continue to do this. So yeah, maybe this is to be continued, who knows. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, thank you for watching. That was my Draw My Life video. I know that everyone else has done them, but I decided that I would do one too, so there, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna tag people in this video to say, go do one yourself. They might not, but we'll see how that goes. So there are some YouTubers that I've just recently started watching videos of. One of them is MissEmilyJarvie. She's really cool, so I'll leave a description. She's not done that many videos, but she's just started her channel, and she's British, and she's just really cool. So go check her out, and hopefully she'll watch this and she can try and make one of these videos, although I will warn, it took me so long to edit. Oh my god, so long to edit. I'll also tag Pixie T, who is Amber, who was in that video. Oh, look at how that worked out. And third person, I'll also tag Elmify, because hopefully she might, I don't know, I've contacted her before. She's a really cool, down-to-earth person, and I'd really like to see her version and take on this. So, thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. Seriously. What do I have to do? Do I have to give you... do I have to give you a cute font? Do I have to? Fine.